Thank you everyone for watching our digital ethno-narrative project for FSoS 3102, Family Systems and Diversity. This project was created by Hua Lee, Rachel Novak, and Brett Miller. For our digital ethno-narrative, we decided to interview a young woman from Yatsuk, Russia. The average age of marriage in Russia is 23, which is somewhat young compared to Western culture. The marriage celebrations are elaborate because they are considered one of the most sacred ceremonies, and they typically last 2 or more days. Two main features of the wedding are a party feast with the traditional sharing of a loaf of bread, and a ceremony at the Department of Public Services, previously known as ZAGS, which officiates the marriage process. According to our research, Yatsuk follows traditional gender roles and socializes their children according to them. Although there was some improvement with women in the workforce due to the communist movement, the kinship relationships in Yatsuk are mostly centered around a nuclear patrilineal family, which contributes to the gender role socialization of children. Although families are nuclear, they put a lot of effort into communicating and maintaining relationships with extended family, and sometimes will have grandparents or other relatives live with them. In general, religion plays a prominent role in the public and spiritual life of Russia. Most Russians are Orthodox Christian, with almost 5,000 religious associations registered in Russia. And while the majority of religious Russians are Christians, the second most popular religion in Russia is Islam, with about 19 million Muslims in Russia. There are over 800 Muslim parishes and mosques within Russia. A third, less popular religion in Russia is shamanism. This religion focuses on the spiritual world and a connection with the natural world. Within Russia, multiple holidays are celebrated throughout the year, but the three we decided to focus on in our interview were New Year's, Christmas, and National Women's Day. From further research on these holidays, it was clear that Russia's New Year's holiday was the most popular and celebrated, with many traditions that go along with its celebration. This holiday is celebrated quite similarly to our Western celebration of Christmas, but in Russia, there is no religious association with New Year's, whereas Christmas in Russia is much more religious focused, and not so much about gift-giving and celebration. National Women's Day is another quite popular holiday, which is a holiday dedicated to Russians showing their appreciation to the women in their lives. This holiday involves Russians giving various gifts to the women in their lives, such as flowers or chocolates, as a sign of appreciation and respect.
My name is Samara, and I've been named after my grandmother from my mother's side. And I think Samara means date palm tree, but like my parents weren't looking behind the meaning of the name. They just named me after my grandmother. So I have a brother and a sister. They're my younger siblings, and my brother, his name is Nikita. He is a sophomore in college in the city called Tomsk in Russia. And my sister, she is 15 years old. She's a high schooler. I have my mom and my dad. Yeah. So my parents married when my mom was 21 and my dad was 20. Yeah. So compared to 23, that is pretty young, and I'm 21 right now, so I'm thinking like, what? But yeah, so I wouldn't say it's like the most sacred ceremony. It's very important. The wedding is very important, of course, and you tend to invite a lot of extended family, and it's like a big, huge celebration. But the weddings that I've been to, they follow both like Russian and Yakut traditions. So it's like, I guess you just like register first, like the marriage paper and stuff, and then after that you go to, there's like a shaman, what's it called? It's like a wizard, I don't know, a shaman, and he's there to bless you on your like family journey, and you have this kumis, which is a traditional drink, and alaji, which is like this food. It's like pancakes. So you have to feed it to each other, and then you burn it in the like a small fire. There's a small fire. So yeah, you have to burn it, and then like feed the spirit of the fire to be blessed on your family journey. So it's like it's not like, it doesn't last that long. It's like 15 to 20 minutes of that huge thing, and then shaman just tells like a couple words and he congratulates you. Yeah, and after that it's just reception. Yes, I would say my family is really close with the extended family, especially with my mom's side. My mom had 8 siblings, and those 8 siblings have a lot of like their own families, and we're all like, I have a lot of cousins, and we stay in touch. We like nowadays, of course, it's like social media, and we are staying like touch in WhatsApp, which is like a group chat, extended family. So yeah, I would say technology helps us stay in touch. I think like at some point in my life we had to live with my grandmothers from like each side. I think until I was like 2 years old, my parents lived with my grandma from my father's side, and then a couple of years ago, I lived with my grandma from my mother's side lived with us, and they also at the time when they did not live with us, they lived really close. They like I was on the next street from us. They lived there, so yeah. Yeah, my family follows these traditional rules. It's pretty integrated in the Russian culture, and I would say like inside of the family, I guess there's like the chores that are considered more feminine that like me and my sister had to do, and my brother had to help my dad with like more the masculine stuff. So that was pretty divided. Yeah. At the time when they worked in like actual company, when they did not have their own business, when they worked, I would say my mom did do most of the stuff, like more stuff than my dad, but also it fell on the children too. So it's like I helped my mom a lot, and then like my brother helped too, and like I looked over my siblings, and then like I cooked and I cleaned the house. So yeah, but then after like 9 years ago, my parents, they got their own business, so they started working more from home, and then my siblings grew, so I guess like everyone shared work equally somewhat, but it's mostly fell on women. Yeah, I wouldn't say we are super religious, but we do follow shamanism, and yeah, my mom believes in it a lot, and it's the one that we believe in. It's spirits that are around the world, and spirit of the river, spirit of the fire, and you have to be very respectful. And when you go into forests, or like you have to just like pay your respects. It's like a small, like you put money on the tree, or like a small little like something on the tree, or like I think 4 times a year we go feed the river with milk and alaji, which is like the pancakes I told you about. So if we feed the river, we hope for the better future. We tell our prayings when we like do that, and there are like several holidays in that religion. It's not like a religion, but there are like several important days where we have to make those pancakes, and yeah, we have to just eat them, I guess. Yeah, so it's mostly how it's practiced. We don't have to go anywhere and pray like at all. We just like have to respect and know that there are spirits around you. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to like learn and respect about it more. But I would say it's more important to my parents, and even like it was more important for my grandparents, and like above and above. So like with each generation, it's like it's more modified, I would say, and it's less like less celebrated, less learned, and more just like traditionally followed. Yeah. New Year's is very important, and International Women's Day too. I would say Christmas. It's not on the 25th of December. It's on 7th of January, and it's not that important. So during like New Year's holidays, we have like 2 weeks of the huge like holiday break, and the January 7th usually marks the end of the holiday celebration week. So it's just like a like you celebrate it a little, but it's not that big. New Year's is huge, and in my family too, we just cook the whole day on 31st of December for like the big dinner, and then we have this dinner. Most of the times it's just my immediate family, but sometimes we invite our like my aunt and her family, and there's a lot of them too. Sometimes it's very huge. And then for the dinner, and then you meet midnight. So it's like New Year's, you drink champagne, you're just like, hey, it's New Year's. And then after midnight, your extended family comes to visit you, or you go to visit your extended family, like right after midnight, and you like blow fireworks, and then you just like mingle with your family. But when you're a young adult, for example, like from 19 to 25, and you don't have your own family, you go to clubs like after midnight. Like you have to meet midnight first with your family, but after midnight you go like with your friends and celebrate with them. So yeah, and International Women's Day is very important too. It's celebrated in schools. We have a day off. We have like 3 days off around March 8th. Yeah, I know. We don't have to go to school, but before that, in school, like March 1st, March 2nd, we have the International Women's Day celebration, and the boys in class, they give small trinkets, presents to teachers and to the girls, the classmates. And so I usually got a lot of flowers International Women's Day, so yeah, it's a big holiday. Since I have a very big extended family, and I would say all of them kind of influenced on me growing up, and me being in Siberia, in Russia, of course, it's just like shade of like the person I am right now. And I would say it's like mostly similar in Russia on how like the children are raised, but since I came here, I can like compare, and it's like very different. And I would say that in Russia, you get more beat, not like beat, like, but like discipline. Discipline is like very important, and so you have also respect your elders. It's just like it's a big, like yes, you have to do it. What your parents said, you have to follow it. It's like, and then also compared to America, in Russia, like in Yakutia, I would say, I don't know about like the whole Russia, but in Yakutia, your parents and your grandparents, like everyone follows you. You have to know like what's happening in your life, and like, well, they care, not like they care more, but like, they still think of you as your like little child. Mm-hmm. And like here in America, I would say like people just like grow up, they turn 18 and just like go to college, and then just like start their own life, and like tend to move out and just like not see their parents. But in Russia, no, you stay in your house until you like can find like a decent job, and even like after that you have to meet with your family every day, like almost every day, and like talk to them every day. So it's like it's pretty connected, I would say. And so yeah, discipline is very different. And since I grew up with 2 younger siblings, I had to watch over them too, and I had to discipline them, and it's like it's a whole cycle. So yeah. Yeah.